Hi everyone, Kevin here with Geektopia Island here again. We're going to talk about the chapter 912. Do like a review slash discussion about it. So this chapter brought a lot with it. So before that, I'm gonna give you a spoiler warning. So if you're not caught up with the anime or the manga, go read the manga for sure. Catch up to 912 and then come back to this video. Otherwise, let's delve into it. So this chapter was pretty wild. It had a lot of good world building, like stuff like that, because you had to learn a lot more about this city and the way it was back in the day before Kaido and all of that, and before just how it all was. And you got to meet and know. We had to learn about Ace's backstory, which is awesome, because I mean everyone loves Ace. It's Porcus the Ace. He's Fire Fist. Everybody loves him. Anyways, I digress. So first off, it starts with them talking to Luffy and the Tengu and Tama. They're just talking about Ace and everything, and Luffy has zero chill, like whatsoever. He just straight up, Ace is dead. Goodbye. Rip that band-aid off real quick. Like, Luffy, you need to chill, bro. Like, be a little nicer about it. Goodness. But he just straight up, nah, Ace is dead. Sorry. Get over it. Just straight up. I mean, I guess it's okay and good to just rip the band-aid off. It gets it done with, but whatevs. But really, we got to find out more about Tama and Ace and how they've met and what they talked about before, and the Tengu, and how I'm pretty sure it's a girl, because the way they showed it is the bladesmith, and it's Tengu Yama Hitetsu, pretty female Kokeshi doll collector. So I think it's a woman under the mask, but we don't know yet. I think at some point we'll actually see her face, but we'll just have to wait and see. And I was actually watching Sire 7 Mage, and he explained, and I didn't catch it before when I first met Tama, that she's probably the little girl that taught Ace how to make the hats from Wano, because when he came here, he learned how to make that so he can make one for Oars Jr. I didn't really realize that until I watched his review of it, so good job, Sorry Mage, for having my back. But this chapter was pretty wild. It had a lot of good info in it. So we had to find out about the village. It had 5 pretty good guards from what it looked like. They guardians, and X-Trick came and joined forces with Kaido and wiped the floor with all of them. X-Drake was, I'm pretty sure the last time we saw X-Drake was 2 years ago. Like, I mean, we probably saw him since then, but it was like a little bit. Nothing like really crazy, nothing spectacular. He just saw the what all went down with it. But I think that's pretty much the last time X did all that. Is he came in, joined forces with Kaido, because that's when he was fighting in the snow area, and then this may have been snowy before. Now that I say that, because that's where he was when he was fighting Kaido. So he may have joined, and then he became a headliner, which I think I'm going off headliners, like not so much like a general of his army, but like a lieutenant. Like they lead all the little ones, like the minions and those kind of people, and they're above the grunt work, but they lead all the people that do the grunt work, I think. Is where I think a headliner is. And I think that's what Apu is too, because I mean, I'll get into it. We saw Hawkins in this again, and he showed up and met Zoro and Luffy, and he's a headliner. X-Drake is a headliner, and I do believe Apu is a headliner too. And I think Kid, whenever the Kaido fell, I think Kid was just like, nope, I'm not doing that. You can go to hell. And well, Kaido decided to beat him down and put him in a jail cell. But there's more to Hawkins, and we'll get into that when we get to there. But for the most part, I think those 3 are headliners right now. And there may be a couple more on this island. It'll be pretty crazy if we get, like, at the end of Wano, if it's like all supernovas fighting Kaido. That'd be nuts. But X-Drake is apparently a boss. Still, I mean, we knew this because he has a T-Rex fruit. Why would he not be a boss with the T-Rex fruit? And the Tengu talks about Ace showing up and what they did. It was like they saved Like Ace showed up with all of his crew and their food got stolen. They got tied up with rope, which made me laugh because I didn't catch that when I first read it, but I went back and reread it, and Ace just burned the rope off because he's made a fire, and he untied his crew. And since, I mean, it's Ace, he's not a jerk, he's not a bad pirate, so he just was like, okay, cool, can I have dessert? That's all I want. And so I think they gave him the food that they had because they knew the village didn't have anything, and they helped and stayed there and just helped them kind of get back on their feet. So I mean, we always knew Ace was a good guy, but now we know for sure he's a good guy. And I think that's when he met Otama and really got to know who she was and learned about her skill, and she probably taught him how to make the hats, because that's when we first met Tama, that's what she was doing, was making hats to sell. So I bet she made those hats and she taught Ace how to do it as like a thank you for helping them. And then we found out a little bit more about that. And Luffy's like, well, I gotta repay my debt since I ate her rice, and she's only get rice once a year or twice a year. So he decided that he was gonna go with her and find a doctor to help her. And the Tengu can't go into the city because he's well known, or he or she is well known. But and then there's Luffy just being Luffy, and he takes one of the swords that she has, and that's a whole new thing, because apparently she collects badass swords, because she has two. She has the Nidai Kitetsu and then her legendary sword. She doesn't say what the name is, but Luffy tries to be like, well, then let's just trade for your sword. He was like, I can't do that either, because my sword is known too. But of the swords, the Kitetsu is, for those that don't know, Zoro has the Sandai Kitetsu, or Sandai Kitetsu. And that's what Luffy is referring to, and he was like, where have I heard that before? And I went and looked it back up. That Kitetsu is the one that Zoro got in Logtown long ago. He's had it from the very beginning, pretty much, of the Grand Line. And it's the one that was cursed. All the Kitetsus are cursed. So and this is the second one. He has the third one currently. I'm pretty sure he's going to end up with this one at some point in time in this chapter / moving forward. But the Sandai Kitetsu that he has currently is the third one. It's the weakest of the three, and it's the one that he tested over the curse over his arm. So he put his arm out and the blade missed his arm, and then went like 3/4 the way into the floor when it hit. And that's when he got the other sword as well, because the shopkeep was like, oh my god, that was amazing. But Zoro stated that he can feel that sword's energy and the curse of the sword already, just from being near it. So I can only imagine what this one's going to be like. So he even said that when he picked up the sword and used it, he could feel the bloodthirst of it and what it wanted to do. And he had to work extra hard and pay more attention to that sword to keep it from killing when he didn't want to kill, if that makes sense. But I think the Nidai Kitetsu, we'll see what it can do. I'm not sure if Luffy's going to pull it out and use it or not, but he has it with him, so Zoro's going to probably end up having to use it. We'll find out. I don't know. But I'm pretty excited to see Zoro get his hands on that sword and see what he can do with it, because it's going to be fantastic. I mean, he's got the legendary sword of this kingdom, Wano country, from the Samurai Ryuma, and he's got his other sword, the Wakizashi, that he'll never get rid of, and then Nidai Kitetsu. And then we go from where Luffy steals the sword and goes into town with Tama, and then he realizes that it's a wasteland and finds out everything about, like, he sees what Kaido's done, because they get to the middle of the area and it's totally just destroyed. You see a couple shrines in the background, and like trees are all mangled, and the ground's just empty and barren. There's just nothing. And dogs and cats are running wild, and there's tigers and boars fighting, and a croco shark is chasing the tiger and the boar. And I can't tell you exactly I cannot express how excited I am that they have croco sharks in One Piece now. It's a croco shark. I have a weird thing with liking sharks and all of the ridiculousness, because Shark Week is amazing, but I mean, it's a croco shark. Crocodile and a shark, great. Anyways, on a tangent. It's gonna be interesting to see, because we got Luffy's just like, I want to eat one, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna end up killing one. They even make a point that the samurai strong enough to kill one are either captured or bandits now. So there is lots of samurai, but they're probably either captured or roaming just the world trying to stay hidden. So we'll see. And like all of the animals are poisonous right now, but Sanji knows how to eat them, and Luffy's more or less going to be immune to most of it, I bet, because he dealt with Magellan's poison and the fish that almost killed him. So I don't know. Zoro's not really immune to it, but he did try to eat some of the fish and drink the water, so he already knew that his stomach was hurting. He was just like, oh, that's why. Neat. That's Luffy for you, or that's Zoro for you. He's just like, I do what I want. But we get there, and they're making in their way, and then they find out, they see some girl getting chased by, or Luffy and Thomas see a girl getting chased by Kaido's men, it looks like, because they're on the dinosaur things. And it turns out that Zoro is the one following them. He ends up saving the girl, and he only saved her just because he wanted to get their boost. So he wasn't trying to save her, he wanted to get their alcohol. Because, I mean, it's Zoro. It's not Zoro without his alcohol. Like, come on. So he gets their sake, and then he starts drinking their booze. And Luffy and Zoro finally meet, and that's probably the best, like one of the funniest things, because Luffy pulls the Sabo move. He jumps on his face and hugs him like a face hugger, literally like a face hugger. You know, the picture's epic, because Zoro's like, what just happened? And they end up talking for a little bit and learning what they need to learn, like the fish and meat are poisonous, the water's poisonous, so forth, so on. Then Luffy's like, let's go with us to get a doctor, because we need to. And then the headliner Hawkins shows up, and they know that Zoro killed all the people over there, or killed the the guy. I don't remember his name. I don't remember his name, but oh well, the guy that he killed with the little seppuku dagger. So everyone knows that Zoro is the criminal, apparently. And Hawkins shows up with some badass animals. I don't know what that deer thing is, but it's awesome. It may be like a Kirin, actually. It looks kind of like a Kirin. It's got a mane. It's got like giant antlers. It could be a Kirin. That would be actually pretty dope. But Basil looks awesome. He's got a giant sword, or lance it looks like. And his crew of like 3 people there, his little minions, I guess you want to call it. One's super built, one's kind of tall, and the other's like tall and lanky. He's got like the weird beaded like hairdress thing. So we'll see what happens with them, because they show up and they tell him that there's only 2 in Wano. There's only 2 options: disobey or follow the strong. So you either follow Kaido, or you don't, and you live in the shadows. And with Hawkins, I think there's more to it than we're seeing right now. So I think Hawkins is biding his time with the strong right now, because he's trying to survive. I don't think he wants to be under Kaido. I mean, hell, him, Kid, and Apu were going to go after Shanks. Their whole goal is to take the New World too. But Kaido put a big hamper on that real quick. So I think at the moment he's having to just bide his time. And he may end up fighting Luffy and Zoro, which I think is going to happen. It's going to be pretty cool. Because Zoro's like, Kinemon said, don't start a ruckus. And it's Luffy. And he's like, well, we're going to have to apologize, because we're going to do that anyway, because that's what we do. And I mean, wherever Luffy goes, he starts with something. It's how he's been. He's always been that way. But I'm very interested to see what's going to happen in this fight. If we get to see it, it's going to be awesome. It'll be, if it actually happens, like a legit fight, it'll be one of the first actual supernova fights that we get to see. I mean, they did kind of fight in Saba Odendi, but we didn't really get to see a lot of it. And if we get to see the full start to finish, I think it'll be like a full chapter if they do fight, of them fighting and doing stuff, but it may just be Hawkins saying there's only two options: you can follow the strong or disobey them and live your life in hiding, and he may quote unquote betray Kaido right here and help Luffy and Zoro disband, just totally annihilate the other three with him, and then he may join in their fight to fight Kaido, because you know Luffy's never gonna surrender to Kaido. That's just not how they are. The Mugiwara crew doesn't do that. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I think I'm really excited to see where this arc goes, because it's got a lot going for it right now. And Zoro's already a wanted criminal. Awesome. Luffy's gonna be a wanted criminal if he beats up Hawkins. Like, if Hawkins actually does work for Kaido, then and Luffy and Zoro win, it's gonna make them so known already, just because they beat a headliner, and Kaido's gonna know they're there. It's just gonna be a whole new. It's gonna be crazy, really, just to see what happens. Because I can't even like think about it right now. Because Kaido's gonna hear about it, and he's gonna be more pissed off at Luffy just because Luffy's just messing with everything. And then Big Mom's gonna show up, and it's just gonna be bad. It's gonna be epic, and I can't wait to see what goes on. But we'll definitely have to check it out. But overall, this chapter was a fantastic chapter. It wasn't like groundbreaking or anything, but it did give a lot of insight. I would definitely recommend reading this chapter a couple times to get all the extra little things about it and see what all there is. But I hope y'all enjoyed the review, guys. Keep checking in. We'll be going over One Piece weekly now that my life's back in order, kind of. We're going to be going over One Piece every week as best I can. And then I'm going to be doing theory videos. I'll probably do one next week. It'll actually be another new crew member video, I do believe, because I have a pretty crazy theory about Shirahoshi. So I'll just let y'all think on that, and then we'll talk about it next week. So hope y'all have a good night, guys, and we'll see y'all later.